been there, but they never went back. Is it a gateway or maybe more? Racks is on your mind. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or I heard a rumor from maybe a dad. The racks is really just in our heads. I don't care cause I love the chase. Raxler will be mine. I'm just a galaxy searching on. Don't trust the others cause they bug my phone. I keep the tinfoil close tonight. Raxler's on my mind. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or care. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or care.
From the creators of luggage limpets and passenger lounge suitcase shuttles comes the latest revolution in passenger transportation, the passenger cannon. For centuries, circus performers have perfected the technique of being fired from a cannon. Paired with our new memory gel passenger pod impact absorption technology, you too can speed up disembarkation times from your liner by up to 250%. No longer be limited by pad sizes and excessive docking fees with the passenger cannon. But how does it all work? First, all passengers will be issued with a passenger pod inflation suit during transit. On approach to your passenger's destination, simply fill the inflation suit with our patented impact-absorbing memory gel. Then, once in a stable position in proximity to the destination, effortlessly slide them into the disembarkation chamber ready for launch. The passenger cannon is now available in both gimbaled and turreted varieties to make aiming elementary. Make your liner one of the top 1% in the galaxy. Buy a passenger cannon today. Warning: passenger cannon must not be operated on high-gravity planets or near geysers.
Sweet dreams, little ones. You rest up in your hangar bay, because in the morning, you'll wake up to smell fresh laser fire, because you're in a federal Corvette. And there's one thing that a core dynamic ship does well, and that's kill ships. Big ships, small ships, rings of ships. We even have a go at booping asteroids. Enemy shields down! Enemy dead! There's no further targets, Commander! That's all you'll ever have to say in a federal Corvette. Core dynamics! Let's not talk about skimmers.
I spend so much time in my Imperial Trader, I find it really hard to meet people.
I mean, when do you get the time to go to bars when you're taking on courier jobs for the military?
But with VenusDating.com, it was so simple. I just put in my personal details and they found me my perfect match.
I really thought it would be difficult, but Venus Dating made it so simple, with so much in common.
We both like movies, walking along the beach at sunset,
Browsing imperial shipyards.
and of course, since we started dating, we've discovered that we both really love shooting Thargoids. Let your voyage begin with VenusDating.com for every first encounter.
that showed them it's the end of the war. No more corrosive coleslaw, caustic cabbages or pesky panties. Trying to wreck your day, yes, it's the end of the war. My violence can take no more. I'm a billionaire who has no cares. Why should I keep my AX spares? Oh, what a lovely sight to see. The love types and smithereens. Earth love stained below, what a shit show. At least there's more Earth-likes we know. Humanity is saved. AX pilots so brave. Not so deep for oh so long. Drove the metal and we all thought to say so. Then we really kicked their asses. It's the end of the war. No more corrosive coleslaw, caustic cabbages or pesky pansies. Trying to wreck your day. Yes, it's the end of the war. Terror tulips, close the door. Spiteful spinach, murder flowers. All that burn goes on for hours. Hollow squares are all around me. Hydras roar against our fury. Guardian weapons firing madly. So could not be taken lightly. 10,000 strong we fight on. Oh, it's the end of the war. Laser lilies are no more. Toxic dripping sour salads. Really trying to wreck that day. Yes, it's the end of the war. Terror turnips, weeds of woe. Hetero plants, it's time to go. Danger, daisy, please just know. Yes, it's the end of the war. No more lurking lettuce. No marauding marigolds. A savage silence. Fury flowers. A vacuum vegetables. Get and you wobbly weeds on your bike, son. I'll hit off you bloody go. Alright, son, off you blooming go.
Get ready. Lave Radio.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite.
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
And the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from the Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 534 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix Defire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station, and joining me, hesitantly, in the Orange Sidewinder bar for this episode, we have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychit.
Right, okay, I'm going to warn you in advance that I fear that there may have been a dog sneak onto the Orange Sidewinder bar, so I'm not going to ask Chris to edit anything because he won't go away.
Right.
Sorry,
so
he barks, I'm just saying. We might have a guest that's a bark.
We've got a guest.
Yeah.
We've got a hound. Right. Our SRV Banksy is away on holiday this week, so have a nice time, Alec. I don't know what. We have our the Chris Mark IV doubling today for tech and chat.
Hello from the tech hole.
From the tech hole, the head tech hole, and also our head of health and safety, who I believe has just run off to get an ice cream because he's dying of lack of ice cream.
Well, at least I can get an ice cream, and I'm not being accused of stealing one. But I have to admit, I'm just thinking Psychic's feeling a wee bit rough.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard.
Cheer up, folks! It
Here
gets.
we go. There's the caliber. There's the caliber. We're starting the bar low.
Oh, there's no one going to be a limbo under that one, I'll tell you. Right. If you wish, you can join us live. We're hanging out in game in open with the Chris Mark IV, and of course Ben doing stuff. If you can't get to us in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel. Hello, Twitch channels, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, or even look up Lave Radio on YouTube because we're broadcasting there as well. Hello, YouTube. Right. So we'll have a quick introduction round the crew, see what they've been up to this week, and let us start with the Chris Mark IV.
Ooh, what have I been up to this week? Well, it's still been lovely weather. People that were listening last week will have heard me complaining about the ridiculous warm weather in Scotland. Can confirm, still warm and still outrageously sunny. It's getting very confusing.
What can you do when it hits 14 degrees? I don't think I'll get home.
Has it been in the 20s? The 20s in Scotland. It's ridiculous. This cannot stand for much longer. It's all happening. The haggis are melting in the fields. It's going really bad.
Turn in the colour of Iron Brew.
That's it. That's it. What have I been up to? Well, enjoying the nice weather as much as I can. I've been going out and about. A few bits of work bits and pieces and life bits and pieces. Last week I went out. I saw the new Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. There was a sort of screening up here around about the same time as they were doing the premiere down in London, which means you get to watch all the red carpet nonsense, and then the film happens. The film is about 3 hours long, which I didn't realise at the time and did not start until very late. So I was slightly tired when I got to work the next day, but it was excellent. Really, really good. I think we feel entitled to the stunts that they put in the Mission Impossible films now. So you sort of watch it on screen, you go, yeah, that's okay. That's not bad, is it? That's all right. Yeah, that'll do. When actually they are quite amazing what they're managing to put on screen. So yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Good film, and I think it's out. I think it's out this week. Out this week? Tomorrow? Wednesday? Thursday? Can't remember. It's out this week anyway. So yeah.
People complaining about the lack of exploding helicopters, I think.
Yes, not enough explosions. More explosions, please. There was lots. It kind of leans into the sci-fi. The last film kind of leaned into a bit of sci-fi. This one leans even more sci-fi, I would say. But yeah, no, good film. Gaming wise, I have not been in game a lot. I've been sort of mucking around and doing a few bits and pieces in game. Threatening to finish off my tourist settlement and sort of exploring some other bits and pieces that I've been doing. I got sucked into, for reasons that I don't quite understand, I went back into Planet Zoo. Because something popped up.
Why?
I have no idea. But the problem with these kind of games is when I drop into them, I lose myself for a good few hours.
Mm-hmm.
So all productivity that night was lost. Because I had an update on Planet Zoo for no apparent reason. So yeah, I ended up going in.
It is very cute.
It is
They did
cute.
drop it. They had a new DLC came out for it, so there was a free update that ran alongside that as well, with some like tweaks and things. I think it's either coming out or it's just come out, one of the two.
Ridiculous.
But that's why it had an update, and that's why you clicked play.
I clicked play, and then I lost several hours in a similar way to losing several hours during Mission Impossible. So yeah, that's been my sort of my time this week.
Excellent. Psychic.
Hi. What have I been up to this week? I have out of games. I have been not doing that much, to be honest. So okay. So kind of also in games, I was I mentioned last week that I had 2 charity streams that I was doing this weekend, and that we were doing lots, like the weekend just gone, that we were doing lots of prep for and things like that. The Marvel Rivals night was absolutely brilliant, but the D&D fell through in a way that really put a proper dampener on and I'm not gonna like bitch and moan about it too bad, but it was like I had brought people into this to cover for people who left, and both they and I were treated, oh my gosh, were treated really sort of abysmally. I can't think of a better word for it, and it's still kind of raw, and it's not something that I've quite got my head around yet. But I'd never want to work with these people ever again, and that's like not something that you want to want to feel when you're trying to like do something good for an incredibly deserving charity. So yeah, that's kind of. Like mentally, that's where I was on Saturday. So I opened my Milky Way Lego Galaxy on Saturday instead, and I sat down.
Chocolates, are you?
No, the Milky Way Lego. So the Lego Milky Way Galaxy that they do, it's an art piece from Lego. It has like 35,000 pieces, something like that. They're all really fiddly. It is so stunning. There's pictures on my Blue Sky if you If you
Oh,
want to
that's
check
what
it
that.
out,
I didn't
it,
realise
they,
that was a Lego thing.
it's
Oh, that's
Lego,
fantastic.
Colin.
How are your fingers?
So the main reason that I do Lego, the main reason that I like to do Lego is to prove to myself that I can make my hands work and my hands are doing things, and it's kind of like this reinforcement that I'm still capable. Oh my God. I was like, I need to put my hand, I need to like soak my hands in warm water for a very long time just to sort of like get the feeling back. The first day I did like 2/3 of it, and then the second day I did the last third while listening to Chris on Black Diamond FM. And it was really it's beautiful. Now I just need to find a way that I can put it up that it isn't gonna. It's got hooks in the back. It's got like 2 hook holes in the back. But all of my research has on it has been like, use 12 command strips and make sure that it goes up and stays up, because that's the only way it's going to be a peace of mind for you. Because it is quite heavy, but it's Lego and it's beautiful, and it's just like, I love the way that they use other pieces and stuff. Like there's a little frog in there, and there's a little like half a crab in there, and that is in the place where the crab nebula would be. And then there's like little flowers and hearts that are all dotted around it. And as you look sort of, if you get really close to it, look further on, there's like windows and doorways, and oh my gosh, it was an absolute pleasure to make, and I love it so much. But it's currently just sat on my dining room table because we haven't put it up yet. But
Approximately how big is it?
About a standard dining room table. The width of it is about the small width of the dining room table, a tiny bit smaller than that. I don't have the exact dimensions, but it's a solid,
fairly chunky.
It's a fairly chunky piece. It's beautiful. I've wanted it for years, and my mum bought it for me for my birthday. So I was very happy, but very happy that I've got that done, but also very sad because I now have no more Lego in the back catalogue that I can just sort of like get out and made. I've done almost all of like the botanical flowers, and I love those so much. So I need to have a look and see what's there, and hope that money is nice and will let me buy stuff. In game, I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag, but I've not played any Elite this week. I don't understand why that's a brag. I've not played any Elite. I have not played any Elite this week because my whole world has been consumed by Claire Obscure Expedition 33, which I finished today.
Oh, you finished it today?
I finished it today. I'm gonna start. I'm not gonna play it on stream anymore, but I am gonna start New Game Plus because there's still other bits that I want to do in it. But I finished it today, and it I don't want to spoil it, but it deserves Game of the Year. It deserves Soundtrack of the Year, and I think either Andy Serkis, Ben Starr, or Jennifer English deserve Best Actor of the Year.
Yeah.
Best like performance. It's so good. It's so good. It's so original. It's probably one of my favorite games of all time. I think it was spectacular. I'm happy with the choices that I made. The character work, the setting, everything is so incredibly unique and so very French. And I highly recommend picking it up and having a look at it. If you've ever enjoyed something like I don't know.
Classic Final Fantasy.
I got classic Final Fantasy, but I've never enjoyed that. It's
unique.
Yeah, it's just unique. So unique. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Excellent. Okay, Ben.
Right. Real life, it was my son's 18th, and we went out went to a steakhouse for dinner, and my son managed to completely and utterly overestimate how much he could eat, despite the fact he is very much into eating his protein and everything like that. He ordered the mixed grill, and It was 35 quid, which was a fair amount of money, but my God, he got so much food for that. It was ridiculous. And I'm not surprised he was overfaced. On the bright side, though, it also made for nice food on Saturday. I wound up having a gorgeous thing that I've never even seen before, which was a pork steak T-bone.
Right.
So it's like the same cut of meat that you get on a T-bone from a cow, but off a pig, and it was beautiful. And everyone else's food was apparently very, very nice as well. So that was lovely. And then on the Saturday, because we hadn't had enough meat on the Friday, we decided we were going to have a barbecue. And this is about the first time I've tried doing a barbecue in probably about 18 years, frankly. Yeah, I haven't had a barbecue. I used to have barbecues all the time, and I've not had them for ages.
And how many people had to go to hospital the next day?
Nobody. Also, the smells coming out of my daughter's rear end were interesting.
Well,
and she didn't hold them back.
Well, that's good to know.
Remind me not to come to a barbecue.
I'm not holding them back. Well, the barbecue was outside. We just used my daughter as a firelighter.
So the wind took it then, right?
Yeah.
A few streets were evacuated downwind, but apart from that, there was no harm done.
Got gas leaks. But yeah, we had lots of fun with doing all that kind of stuff. And then in games, because I've been so busy with real life, the only thing I've really had a chance to play is some Final Fantasy 15.
Right.
So, and I'm enjoying the game. I really am enjoying the game, and I'm enjoying the combat and things like that. But these characters and their interactions, especially with women, feel like they were written 30 years ago. And I'm not exactly the most sensitive person in the world when it comes to that kind of thing. And even I'm thinking, wow, you can't say that. But I'm enjoying the game, and I'm enjoying the storyline and things like that. I just think they need to get to this decade. And I mean, is that just this game, Colin, or is that Final Fantasy in general?
I'd say that. Well, I'm trying to think of.
This game very much is four bros on a bro road trip.
Yeah. Apart from
they're all fairly young and things like that. So,
I'm trying to think of places where that would have flagged up with me, and I can't think of any.
Now, you've got Pronto. Is it Pronto, or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
The guy who takes photos, and every single comment he makes about Cindy. You've got the main character and his dubious interactions with the sister, who's got the dark hair. You've got everybody's interactions and the comments that they say about. I don't know the person's name, but it's like a female commander who's working as a mercenary for the Empire.
Oh yeah, I know who that is.
And everybody's just like, no, put your dick away, boys. Jesus.
Really? Because I didn't pick up on that
Listen
at all.
Listen to all the chat that they're having during the fight.
I have listened to the chat beyond the fight. It hasn't. That didn't click with me.
Yeah, it's just
they all get a look at the knockers on her and stuff like that. Is that what they're saying?
It's not quite that bad, but it's like
no, it's not that bad at all.
It's not look at the knockers on her. Although, yeah, she is wearing very anime style art armor, where obviously less is more armor. But it's just like the even the comments after the fight they're like, yeah, I wouldn't mind having to interact with her again. It's like, oh my god, dude. But yes, I am rapidly awaiting to find out what the hell is going to happen next. Because I am enjoying it. It's just like, wow, seriously, guys.
Wow. Well, I'm taking a. I mean, I can certainly agree with you that the developers went a bit overboard with Cindy because you're there thinking, yeah, as if a car mechanic really dresses like that. But yeah,
this was something I did notice though, that Cindy, by way of thanks to a woman, has invited her out for dinner, and she never asks you guys for dinner, despite the fact that
That's
at least
because
one
of all the misogynistic wording and stuff that you're saying. Apparently,
well,
she heard it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's trust me, she prefers to be with engines rather than people. So you know,
I suspect she likes engines and girls in that order.
Same, man. Same.
But it's just like yeah, and I just don't know if it's because I'm used to Western RPGs more than Asian ones. It might be something like that, or I just don't know what it is. It's just like I've not played a game where things have been this blatant since probably 2010s, if not earlier.
Well, it was originally written and recorded in the 2010s. It was a very long development cycle.
Okay, so I mean that could even be a part of it in its own right then.
Yeah. Ah, well.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. As I said, I'm enjoying it. I really am. It's just wow, you can't do that.
Fair enough. Obviously, I've not got my Benny Hill warning light on. Right, let's see. Well, it's been a couple of weeks. So yeah, there's been plenty of stuff going on. I think that I've been doing a lot of Final Fantasy VII remake rebirth. That's been fun. Running around in VR in Skyrim. That's been awesome. And then I've been doing a lot of the CG. Completed that, got a lot more money, and then realized I'm going to need a lot more for a fleet carrier. Then on top of that, I started hauling again for my my colonization effort, and thought, why am I doing this? And, yeah, we'll probably explain later why I'm a bit no. And then on top of that, I've been doing a lot of stuff for the Emperor, so we'll be able to touch on more elite stuff later. So yeah, let's move on finally and talk about the development news. So what have the devs said this week? Well, there was an update, Trailblazers update 3.2. It arrived last week, and it was a server-side update, so we didn't need to have anything new turn up. Quite nicely, there was a lot of bugs fixed, mostly from the issue tracker, which was very nice. One thing I didn't realize is when they announced the Trailblazers update, you know, when they said the strong links and the weak links, I didn't realize that it'd actually start displaying them in the system map itself.
Oh,
so
really?
Do they actually?
Yeah, when you click on your facilities, it'll actually show you where those links come from. So in my case on wecrushanyadder.com, it tells me that it's got a weak link to the llama farm or the alpaca farm just down the road, and it's also got a weak link to a mining facility on a planet next time over. I obviously have put that facility in the wrong place, because there's no way I can put anything else in orbit or on the planet. So that means that particular station will never have a strong link with anything. So yay. Anybody else had a look at this patch and had anything jump out of them?
No, but I'm really excited to now you've talked about that. Like a bit more sort of visibility of the connections. I
Yeah.
don't think is necessarily a bad thing. Now, I think Frontier, like with a rose tinted hindsight goggles on, I think Frontier probably did it the right way round, as in didn't give us any information at all and gave us bare bones and then built on it. I would say they probably did the right thing in that. That being said, that without the I've said it before, that without the opportunity to undo things, it still bugs me a little bit. So
yeah. Oh no, that's what I was alluding to earlier, is because that as I started working back on my colonization this week, and all of a sudden, and because of the way that they've gone and changed the strong links and the weak links, all the markets have changed.
Yeah.
Including the markets I were relying on other players' systems. So the system where I was getting all my lovely steel and aluminium and liquid oxygen from, it doesn't sell that anymore. I've now got to go start searching around for new stuff. And I'm there going, oh, I can't be bothered doing this again.
The goalposts have been shifted again. Oh no. God, if only there was some way that Frontier have done this before.
Yeah, but I completely get.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a case of what I'm going to do is, I think for this system that I've got at the moment, I'm just going to finish off the two outstanding facilities that are there, that are I've got in progress, and I'm going to leave it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's that system done, and I'm going to start looking about for another system to do properly. Which I would prefer it if you could hire out the scavenger clan to turn up with their dredger mega ship and nom all the facilities you don't want. That'd be great, but nope. Don't see that happening.
Yeah,
but yes,
like an undo, a redo button, even if there was a slight tax on it where you lose some of the materials or something, I don't know. But yeah, like you say, just having to have a look around for a second system. I've got two systems. I've got one that I've done some stuff in so far, and I've got one that I've only done one station basically to claim it, because I thought everything's going to shuffle around. So I'll have another system next door that I can return to later when I know what I'm actually doing. Sorry, everyone in the first system, you were born into to be experimented upon.
Hey, I'm sure they're fine with that. If only we
can just sort of genocide the Thargoids, we could invite them over and let loose, lads.
I'm not sure. Like, the problem is, whenever the Thargoids see humans arrive in their systems at the moment and establish their systems, unless they were already pre-established and they existed in them, they just bugger off at the moment. So what are you gonna do?
They've realised they can't win. We sent blooming 8 Titans after them. They still.
Can we put pre-humans here or something?
Pre-humans here. Come
Public
get
sign,
your lovely humans.
Right in Thargoid. I've got a skate pod. I've got some sauce. I've got some sauce on my fleet carrier if they're a bit dry.
Are you just ejecting them every once in a while as breadcrumbs, leading them towards the systems that you want?
No, they're soup. We know they're soup. They're canonically soup at this point.
Etienne Dawn's gravy.
People gravy.
Oh, there's an advert. No.
It's just like my mama. There we go.
Lovely.
Oh no! Oh no!
They want the special stuff. Right. So yeah, there's been a nice update, and I must admit I am finding the new UI quite useful, if a little bit depressing, realizing how wrong I've got it. So maybe finish this system, move on, finally get all the engineers and then go back to doing maybe another system. I think that's what the plan's going to be. So I'm going to hand over to Psykit for this week's community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate? No, it's not, Past Claire. You're a liar. What have the community been up to? Oh, we've got a couple of bits on here this week that I found. I must admit, I'm not quite as good a searcher as Alec, but we've had some people reach out and some cool stuff that's here that we've got as well. It would be remiss of us to not do a quick shout out to those 37 commanders, streamers who took part in Operation Warbucks this weekend just gone. They raised $22,232.07, which is a bonkers amount of money for that amount of time. Congratulations to everyone involved. Excellent. For those of you this side of the pond, it's just around 16.5k, but wow. In pounds, it's about 16.5k, but that's just such a large amount of money for the Starlight Children's Foundation, who bring gaming to kids in hospitals. Oh, it's a really beautiful charity. Highly recommend. Look up the Starlight Children's Foundation and see what they do, because it's really, really cool. Please do. But woohoo! Big well done, Operation Warbucks. Okay, what else have we got? Nicey has written a blog entry about EDDN, about how it works and how it places with your, plays with your apps that you're using. So it's a really interesting read, even for me, an idiot. It's a really cool thing. Highly recommend giving it a look. All of these links and stuff will be in the show notes after the show. Also, ZaviNet has been in contact with us with his EDFM, not to be confused by EDSM, but this is the Elite Dangerous Fleet Manager. So it tracks constructions, there's leaderboards, market data, you get a page per project, and if you install an EDMC plugin, all of the data goes to the website in real time. And they are... if you want to have a special feature or a feature added to it, they are open to ideas. Which is really cool. It's another one. You've got so many options now when it comes to creating your colonized systems, which is wild, very fun. Okay, just about if you're nasty, currently have 22 rewards available for Elite Dangerous content that range from $2 rewards to $500 rewards. However, there's a caveat. That $500 reward ends today. It ends today. It's only had one entry, maybe two so far, but it's creating like a over 12-minute short film about Elite Dangerous. So, I mean... we've included a link to all of the rewards, but submit a screenshot here and there, and you might get some some cash.
Some money.
Farming engagement, innit? ARX money, did you say?
Yes, an ARX money.
Wow. Okay, mine was beer money for Pitcon. Moving on to speaking of Pitcon, we've got a couple of videos that I've included as well. There is a very, very excellent video from the Burr Pit, which you've probably already seen, but we're going to include it in our show notes because it is so good. Is Elite worth playing in 2025? I'm sure you can predict what their answer is, but absolutely go and check that out. Also, the High Wake has come back with a new video, which is a video about typical Type 9 pilots, which is very funny. Then there is a video from Indigo, which is the feature nobody tells you about in Elite Dangerous. I'm not going to tell you exactly what it's about because I would like you to watch the video. However, it is a feature that's incredibly close to my heart, so I would very much recommend going and taking a look at it, because he speaks at length about something that genuinely made the game so interesting to me. And then this one from The Way, which I found really, really interesting as well. I don't think we've covered this creator in community news before, but the video is entitled Elite Dangerous, Colonization, My Star System, Biggest Mistakes, What I Built and Why. And it's a not particularly long video, but it is a very good video that goes into the mistakes that they made on they're making the mistakes so you don't have to, basically. They've gone they went through a couple of things that they did with their colonization, and then it's really good. I had never come across them before, and they released that this week, so I gave it a watch and I enjoyed it, so I'm passing the information on to you. But yeah, that's kind of it for that I've got for the community news. I'm not as fastidious as Alec. My apologies.
No, it's there's something unique about Alec's ability to get community news.
Yeah, I tell you what it probably is. It's probably the fact that Alec goes on the forums. That might be part of it, maybe.
Well, I go on the forums, I just get shouted at. Anyway.
Well, I mean, what can I say? Maybe we need to start looking inwards.
Oh, yeah, there's me obviously being shouted at for being pleasant to people. It's just not right. Right, if you have a community event that's taking place soon and you'd like us to shout about it across the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio, or emails at info@laveradio.com, or Alec will track you down when he's not on holiday. So, the in-game events, what has been happening this week? Well, we've had two, really. We've had on Thursday the 15th, it was announced that Winter supporters claimed the Mining Rush CG, which was quite lucrative to people who were mining, if a little bit laser miningly boring. So, yes, Winter's won by a substantial amount, despite the fact that a whole load of combat zones opened up. So she got, I think, level 6, and Grom only got level 3, I think. Yes, it was a sound win for the federal president. And then on Friday, we had what can only be described as a kind of mini divorce, a Surexit, if you like. The Alliance Assembly has voted to end the Sirius Defence Pact. The Sirius Defence Pact was where Sirius came in, the Sirius Corporation came into the Alliance and said, listen, you're not doing very well defending against the Thargoids, are you? Allow us to bring in some of our stuff and our ships and things. To which everyone went, not sure about that, but we'll do it. And now that the Thargoid War has ended, they're saying, well, you didn't really do much, did you? So, bye. Even though
it's
Mahan
really tying up a loose end, isn't it?
Yes. Even though Mahan voted to keep Sirius about, everybody else went, no, we've had enough. They've not. They didn't do what they were supposed to anyway. So, yeah, that's the interesting thing there. I wonder what if there's going to be any reprisal. Probably not, knowing Sirius. They've got enough on their plate trying to come up with an alternative to the CO drive, haven't they?
Yeah, that's true. I don't think they're going to, unless Sirius suddenly goes, "Hey, we're in a massive hand in the Panther Clipper," and then suddenly they're great again.
I was wondering, why now for this Galnet to come out? Like you say, it's good it's tying up a loose end, I guess, but a bit of a strange one to pop up, isn't it?
Well, at least it did, because otherwise people will be going, oh, well, Sirius is still in with the Alliance.
Yeah, I tell you that, that's probably one that we'd hit at the end of the year, going, hey, what's still a loose end? Because that's normally what we get. One of our questions at the end of the year will be, what's still sort of like hanging in the blitz, what's still outstanding? So one isn't, we've done one.
There we go.
One's down.
A tick.
Job done.
Excellent. Well, that brings us on to...
I've just had a horrible idea, Colin.
Oh, go on then.
What if Sirius announced a new jump drive that essentially works like the jump engines from Galactica. And it's literally, you it takes a while maybe to spin up, but it's like, spin up, you're there.
So basically,
Or like a fleet
teleportation.
carrier.
A bit like how the fleet carrier fake's working, yeah.
Or like the Fargoids when they sort of blooped in.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it's like you go and sort of select Hutton Orbital, hit the jump button, wait possibly a few minutes, and then you and your normal ship is there.
Yeah.
I know.
I wonder if that, the Panther Clipper, I wonder if it's got a different jump drive in it. Sort of jumps like a mini fleet carrier. Nah, I think it'll stay as it is, but interesting idea. Okay, power play rankings this week. As usual, in 12th we have the Spider Lady Torval. She's actually gained 14 systems this week. In 11th we still have Winters, despite her winning the CG. She's up 4 systems to 547. In 10th we have Petraeus, up 3 systems to 634. 9th is Delaney, again up 3 systems to 653. Then we have in 8th Kane, who's gained 60. That's 60 systems. Yes, so still an 8th though, but that is a phenomenal jump. More later. In 7th, Antal, she's up 6 systems to 751. Next, we at 6th place we have Archer, also gaining 6 systems up to 782. We have Lee Young-Roo in 5th, up 9 systems to 906. And then we have the top 4 with Brom in 4th, gaining 3 systems to 1049. In 3rd, we have Emperor Orisa, gaining 9 systems to 1403. In 2nd, Mahan's had a bad week. He's lost a system. So he's now down to 1486. But stonking ahead with an extra 11 system is Princess Ashling, who's now stands at 1,502. And that is your power play rankings this week.
Hey, 60 freaking systems, man.
You're a K-Knight, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I wasn't involved in this because that would be involving like even engaging with people in that people who do power play. I literally do my weeklies. I give or take you in those. Okay, so however, we did have a message from Halloran Raz, Commander Halloran Raz. I think that's the correct pronunciation. Apologies if I've got that wrong. It went to Alec, but he does say that you may notice a Power Play 2.0 record-breaking number of acquisitions in a cycle for Kane, and boy, have we! Mm-hmm. So if anyone was wondering, this was a Swords of Mackay event. His words, stupidly named the Great Leap Forward, a mass mining event based out of a pristine platinum system in relatively fresh territory that they reinforced a stronghold after weeks of planning. Just some context for this ridiculous jump in systems. It obviously worked.
Yeah.
Whatever they were doing, it worked.
So they mined the platinum in this system like crazy and then used that to leverage the other systems.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That would have taken some planning to do. But yeah, 60 systems. I didn't think that was possible.
No, that's absolutely bonkers to me. And for them to know that it was going to be record breaking as well, I can only imagine like the levels of smugness I'm in awe of. It must be great.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, in old Power Play days and Power Play 1.0, that is unheard of. Mind you, in Purpley 2 is unheard of as well, so, but still. Excellent. Right. I guess it's that time of the week again.
Store alert!
And welcome back. Well, if you have a Corsair and you kind of like more skins for it, we have the Corsair Gladius pack. It has 3 themed kit pieces for your ship and 4 paint jobs that go with it. So yes, I must admit, looking at these, you know how we were saying that the ship looks very much like the Phoenix from Battle of the Planets. So anybody over the age of 45 will probably know what I'm on about. But if you were a 70s kid, that is basically what this ship kit makes the Corsair look like. I think if it was a blue and red paint job, then yeah, people would be going, of my generation, I suppose, would be quite noticeable of it. But yes, does this appeal to anybody who likes the Corvette? The Corsair.
It looks a bit like hey, we heard you like beaks, so let me give you more beaks with your beak. I still haven't taken mine out of the shopping bag.
That's fine.
It's still waiting to be claimed. Thanks, Frontier. Okay, bye.
Yeah, so it's like the Cobra Mark IV. You just look at it and go, no.
I'm good, thanks. I'm good.
Which means nose.
Nose.
Oh my
I'm sorry.
God.
I'm so sorry.
That is as bad as things are being rough. Oh no.
I've been hanging out with my kids too much, that's all I can say.
Yeah, I can't stand the green one. I'm sorry, the green one just looks... Ugh.
Yeah, the green one's a mistake. I think the white one's quite nice. The white and blue's good. The ship kit just seems to give you a bit more belly and again, a spoiler so that you have more downforce and space.
Yeah.
We all need more spoilers on our spaceships.
Yes.
Do we?
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, it's
I can't just. Is that a black and? Is the black and white one that we're showing just now on screen? Is that actually just showing the ship kit?
That's the ship kit.
Or is that,
yeah, that's not the design.
I would actually quite like it if they had a paint job that was like that. To be honest.
And wants everything in grayscale.
Everything grayscale.
I quite like that grayscale one.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of it. However, I will ask one thing. I know, obviously, to the crew that don't fly the Corsair, there's no point asking this, but having finished the CG and moving back to the Corsair, it's like, I don't know, since the last update, it feels like it's a little bit more nimble.
Hey, what were you flying during the CG, Colin?
Type 9.
Okay, when you get into any ship after a Type 9, it's going to feel more nimble. With the exception of maybe the cutter, maybe.
Maybe, yes. I know what you
The
mean.
cutter has always been fast, actually. She just drifts.
Maybe that's what you need to do. Maybe that's what you need to do, though. Like, the Type 9 should always be used as like a palate cleanser in between ships. So all you do, you transfer into your Type 9, you launch, you fly out the station, you do a few loop-de-loops, head back into the station, and then you jump into another ship, whatever you fancy, and you'll be like, wow, it's so maneuverable, much speed, I like. And then it's fine, like a little bit of a sorbet in between something, a Type 9 sorbet.
Yes.
Limoncello of ships.
The limoncello of ships. I like it. Yes. Yes, it is now.
Well, no, in all seriousness, I was actually flying the Corsair up against, it seems to be its natural rival, sort of the Federal gunship. And before, I was having trouble matching the turn for the Federal gunship, but I can now, and I haven't made any modifications to the ship.
Oh.
So, and yeah, it just feels a little bit more spry.
Colin, could it be a possibility? Now, could it be a possibility that after all of these years, you've finally gotten good?
No.
Okay, cool, good. Good, because the show would be over, that would be it.
Yes. The day I get good is the
Collins
day
gets good and we just stop.
Yeah, there's no point. I've won the game. Yeah,
That's the death of the universe. That's just preempts that.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I think we'll take an ad break while my ego just dies in a little corner over there.
Protecting settlements from villainous scum, it's Settlement Patrolman. The action figure every child wants. Wearing the all-new Manticore Dominator suit with light-up jump assist thrusters. Press his backpack to hear Settlement Patrolman speak.
Not seen you around here before, Commander. Is that a Karma P15 in your pocket, or are you just pleased to see me? Hey, don't point that at me.
When alarms sound, Settlement Patrolman rides into action in his surface reconnaissance vehicle with pop-up turret and glow-in-the-dark wheel trims. Settlement Patrolman. Surface reconnaissance vehicle and action figure sold separately. Available from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers. Microelectrode, ion battery, and circuit switch not included.
There's bargains at Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium haven't just been slicing carcasses, but also slicing their prices. All unspecified meat sausages now 2 for the price of 1. A pack of assorted meat steaks, now with 50% more meat at half the price. How about chops? Our surprising meat chops now also 50% off. And introducing our massive meat hamper. It's a family of 4. No, that should say feeds a family of 4, right?
Stick to the script, Claire. It says it's a family of 4.
Okay, I'll stick to the script.
Yeah, you do that.
It's a family of 4. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. Find us in the Lave Business Directory or visit us next to the station mortuary. Etienne Dawn's Unspecified Meat Emporium. You'll wonder how our prices are so low.
New from Azimuth Biotech, it's Tickle Me Thargoid. Tickle Me Thargoid is fun for all the family. Teach your little anti-Xeno commander the difference between an Orthrus and a Cyclops, a Basilisk and a Medusa.
Count the hearts. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Cyclops.
Teach them their weakness and how to exploit them.
Now rip out the hearts. 1 by 1.
I don't want to.
Do it. Using the tool. Do it. Now stomp on its face. Smash its face in.
I've got them.
Tickle Me Thargoid. Available now from branches of Lave Toy Depot and other retailers.
Space is vast, and pirates have needs just like anyone else. Introducing the Lonely Pirate Handbook, the ultimate resource for lonely pirates. Our guide covers the hot spots and not spots of interstellar space, from smugglers' dens to space station taverns. with helpful chapters such as how to be presentable in polite society, how to get rid of that nefarious rank, and my favorite, occasionally shower. Are your early advances often mistaken for attempts to rob or plunder?
Oh, I've come a long way for what's in your hold. Prepare to be boarded. Frameshoot charge detected. Oh.
Buy today and receive the Lonely Pirates Chat-Up Guide for free.
I've got a very large hard point. Would you like to see my very large hard point?
You're so hot. You're making my temperature critical.
Lower your shields. I want to inspect the goods.
Come back to my place. I might let you touch my A-rated anaconda.
Are you smuggling illegal goods? Because you've got fine written all over you.
The Lonely Pirates Handbook. Now available in all Anarchy bookstores. We'll teach you to loot anyone's heart.
Excellent, and welcome back. Well, what we thought with this week was we'd do a little bit of a celebration about the community of Elite Dangerous. When it comes down to pulling together to help a fellow commander, or even just helping out with charity events, the Elite Dangerous community is incredibly generous with both their time and their cash. So, as well as doing some just generally weird things. So, what we thought we'd do is we'll go around the crew, see what their favorite spontaneous community event, which is stuck in their mind. So, I'm going to ask Claire to kick us off here.
It's gonna. Oh man, there are loads. There are loads, and when there are loads. Even thinking doing times when I've done like a little pride thing or something, and we've got a bunch of people together just to do like a multicolored rainbow mass jump or something like that, which has been really neat. And
we had rainbow engines,
things like this, but it would be. I can't not say what grew out of a couple of people going, hey, let's just knock Azimuth out of as many systems as we possibly can, and let's use in-game mechanics and have that. And then the amount of people who jumped on the back of that and kept it going, like the Discord is still there. The Discord's like not active because Azimuth ain't doing anything at the moment, but the Discord's still there. There's still plenty of people on there just waiting to see. And the issue is that with colonization, Azimuth is fucking everywhere, so it's kind of a moot point and a lost cause at this point. But when it brought all of those people together, it was like Operation Witch Hunt will always have a very, very. We'll always just have that like really happy place, be a happy memory for me in a time in the world, for me at least. It for all of us really, but for me it was really different. It was really difficult. That sort of let's just do something and see what happens, and getting that many people involved. And I met new friends that I still talk to, and like friends for life that I've met and I play other games with now that I wouldn't have met had it not been for Operation Witch Hunt. Also, just for like playing Elite Dangerous, people who don't play Elite anymore but still hang around and come and play other games and those kind of things. And that's like building and fostering this community is something that I've just adored through my time. So anytime that I get to do anything like charity related or big picture stuff, or just like do a little mass jump for pride, Elite Dangerous will always have a very special place in my heart for multiple reasons, but mostly for the beautiful humans that I have met through this silly little video game where you get to fly a spaceship.
Yeah. How about Chris Mark 4?
It's very difficult. I've not done a ton of like huge big group events. I've not really partaken in a lot of that. I've really enjoyed a lot of the ad hoc bits and pieces that have sort of popped up. Like, for example, during the Thargoid War, sort of lots of people getting into an instance and doing bits of combat, being on voice and having a good laugh as you do it. While you're doing your pew pews, I think like, a lot of those ad hoc sort of events I've enjoyed a lot. I imagine when you start talking about some of this stuff, I'm going to go, "Oh yeah, there was that." But in my head at the moment, I'm sitting there, I'm going, I don't know what I've taken part of that's been part like that. It's I've done a few little bits and pieces when I was sort of listening to Hutton and bits and pieces like that.
Hey, did you take part in? Did you take part in Operation Hot Mess?
I did do mug deliveries and stuff. So yeah, I've done little bits. I've done some bits and pieces. But yeah, I was really struggling off the top of my head.
Start listing them, and you'll be like, "Oh yeah.
That was that." I end up forgetting about so many things. So apologies for being rubbish on this one.
Yeah. Ben, what about you?
I think I'm gonna take it back to the early days again, as I'm wont, and I mean we've told the story obviously about the delivering a ridiculous amount of pizza to the devs because we could, but what I liked was what grew out to the back of that for the official Elite Dangerous launch party, where I can't remember the exact money. Maybe you can, Colin. You're good at that kind of thing. But we again, the community raised a ridiculously large amount of money, and then we got an oversized check and had that all printed out, as well as we made a little plaque and things like that and had that printed out and got that all assembled and things. And then it was us presenting it to David Braben, which he wasn't expecting, during the launch party, live on stage, was... You could see how humbled he was by the community's reaction to basically raising money to special effects, which the whole reason we got into it was because it's a charity that's very close to his heart, and that's why we all started. That's why we started supporting special effects, because that's what David Braben wanted. And his pure how overwhelmed I think he was that a bunch of nerds would go off and do this for him, for the company, for the game, for ourselves. I think that was brilliant.
Yeah. I think for me, I think it's a bit of a weird one, this, but it was the Dove Enigma incident, because that is going back quite a way as well.
Yeah.
Remind us of that one, Colin.
Apparently, Dove Enigma is actually still with us. He's no longer playing Elite, but he is still with us, because I've seen him on Reddit a couple of times. But the whole situation there, and it made me very angry at the time, because this was back in the day when you sabotage your people's stations with or megaships with dropping off unidentified artifacts, because the Thargoids would screw your system up. And so as a charity thing, Dove Enigma asked for some help to do a charity loop around while he was going through cancer treatment, and it would end up at this megaship. And then somebody thought it would be funny to actually bomb the megaship so that he couldn't complete it. And Frontier were going to step in, and they were actually going to fix things so that the expedition could be completed, but they didn't need to, because this another commander who's left the game since then, Commander DJ Truthsayer rather. He organized a huge expedition, and before you know it, they were hundreds of people flying out with the alloys needed to fix the mega ship within 3 or 4 days, just so that the Dove Enigma could finish off. And yeah, it was a really positive thing to see when people just pulled together they just went, no, what's happened here? That what these idiots did. They're probably all laughing about it and thinking it's funny, but you know. But the community just went, no, that's not funny, and we're going to fix it. And they went out there and they fixed it, which was great. It made me very angry at the time because I just thought, I mean, there's trolling, and then there's that's just. But yeah, apparently Grant still takes the mickey at me for losing my temper on air over that one, which is
Oh no.
oh yeah. Yeah, full-on Glaswegian rage, I think.
Jesus! Oh no!
You unleashed the Glaswegian. That is bad, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's those are just some, I guess, highlights. So yeah, which brings us on to the question of the week, really.
Yeah, because we asked the same thing as the question of the week. It was Beetlejude, really. Beetlejude is to blame, as is the norm. But Beetlejude, that's obviously a joke for legal reasons. I love you, Jude. I'm just saying that because, like, even as recent as this weekend, and Commander Dernach's station built with ridiculously astonishing speed when he made that post on the forum, and the question was what is your most memorable instance of our community come together? And a lot of we didn't get a huge amount of answers. I understand that it's difficult to pick one for sure, and I feel like Apathis summed it up when he said there are so many memorable moments. It's hard to choose just one. Whenever commanders come together, whether it's to help someone in need, raise funds for charity, honouring the memory of a fallen commander, or just hanging out in game doing something together, it's always a special moment.
Yeah,
Which is true. He's right.
You can't go wrong with that, can you?
On a similar theme, Katiana, I've got loads, too many mass jumps to count, and a really silly afternoon spent shooting each other in the face springs to mind, although getting up at stupid o'clock to watch the last Titan explode and seeing all my pals hop online was pretty bloody spectacular. That's true, isn't it? Like the final Titan going, and it just happened to be before everyone needed to go to work, so everyone's sort of sitting there in the morning waiting to watch the Titan explode. Oh yeah.
With the coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. God, that was early.
It was, wasn't it?
God, it was so early. You'd have thunk Frontier would have pushed it back a little bit just to give us a bit of a lie-in. But no, up at six. What time did it go? Well, 6 o'clock? Something like that. Just gone.
It
Nearly
was about
6
then,
o'clock.
wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah. Well, mind you, though, I mean, depending. Yeah, I know for work, I've got to leave my house when and if I have to go into the office. A lot of people have to leave before 7. So, maybe Frontier did do it at 6 to let them join in and then go to work.
Yeah. Yeah,
and if you're not doing that, then you go back to bed again, can't you?
I'm mad. I was tired. Hey, Chris, did you take part in that silly afternoon shooting each other in the face?
I did take part in the silly afternoon shooting each other in the face.
Just checking, moving on.
Yeah. On the list of, hey, Chris, you remember this? Yeah. I did the silly afternoon shooting each other in the face. I think there was slight competition between me and Katiana of who could die the most times. So it was, and I probably won that one. More for dying the most than dying the least. But yeah, that was a silly afternoon. My memory from that one was that we had so many commanders in the same instance, and when you go and do a frontline solutions, you obviously get taken in their little dropship to take you there.
Yeah.
But it means that when you try and return to the station, everyone was returning to the station at the same time, so we ended up with this queue of frontline ships trying to get into the station at the same time, which was absolute chaos.
It was fun.
Yeah. I've got Daisy Bell. My first live race with Elite Ranger races earlier this year. It was fun, even when most of us exploded before the heat ended.
Oh yeah, all of the buckyballs as well. Buckyballs and Elite Races events. That's a very cool thing. Those are cool stuffs. Ben?
Yeah, I thought Colin was adding more onto that. Sorry.
No.
Finn McRaven's saying it might be recency bias, but I have to say that the recent liberation of Sol, the fight being on the doorstep of humanity's birthplace, the multiple efforts to both destroy the Titan whilst others ran evacuation missions, etc. I think this will long stand as a shining moment for the elite community. Yeah, I mean that's obviously it's an in-game thing, but it's a damn good in-game thing, and it was. I mean, I don't in-game. I don't feel particularly married to Sol, shall we say? But there was something special about fighting over Earth.
Yeah. I think for me it was just like the knowledge of the quantity of people that were doing stuff as well. Like I was taking part in, again, I don't play many MMOs. I've any MMOs, and I would err on the side of caution of classing Elite as like, I don't feel like Elite fits what the brief would be for a true MMO, but it's the closest that I know.
Yeah.
So it's quite. It's the first time, especially in game, it's the first time that I really felt like a small part in a massive group of people. I did my part and I did a lot of stuff, but the pure amount of people who were doing things in Seoul, the Aonara, the traffic for the amount of ships that had gone into Seoul was mental at that time, and it just felt really cool to be a part of something like that.
It was the build from sort of the initial invasion of Seoul and then the Titan and everything else that was going on. It was like the culmination of so much story, so many other events and things. So yeah, it just did feel like a big occasion.
Yeah. I mean, I must admit, I was thinking that as soon as that Titan went out, it would take Earth with it, but that didn't happen.
I'd have liked that, but I mean, it was always obvious. They've always just. I'm not going to say they've gone with a bang, because they have gone with a bang, but it's been more of a pfft than a bang. You know what I mean?
So I think the reason probably that they didn't is because new players want to visit Earth.
Yeah.
I would say, like, from an outside perspective, not from us being in a place of people who have played this game for what feels like forever. From an outside perspective, it's probably because they wanted to still have that opportunity. Like, and I only say that because this is how you increase your Federation rank so you can visit Seoul is one of my best performing YouTube videos. So there's got to be some kind of correlation there.
I mean, yeah, the Thargoids could have poisoned Earth, so they'd had to evacuate it, but the planet could still be there. But, you know.
Planet could still be there. It could have had like a slight green tinge to it. That
No. I mean, it could have been poisoned or something could have happened, but then we could have had a massive CG to clean up the Earth, and the Alliance goes, "Fuck you, we're not doing that," and go off and object it.
Too real, my guy. Too real. Not in the year 2025 when the world is dying. Let's not do that. Clean up the Earth. Uh, Commander Datanode has said can't pick just one, so I won't even try to limit myself. The massive combat efforts that AXI held around Titan Kasiho in Earth orbit and HIP 22460 were glorious. Great teamwork, lots of fun, and good old-fashioned bug stomping. Canyon racing at Farseer's base in Desiat. It was my first big group event, and in VR, it was amazing. Managed to not die, which felt like a total victory in my stripped down eagle. And then when fleet carriers first came out, the Burr Pit did an event where they crammed as many people as possible onto a carrier and jumped it. Totally overwhelmed instancing. Some people fell out of the carrier into space. Others just hovered over their seats. Voice chat was 5 minutes of solid laughter. Can confirm was there. Was not one of the people who fell directly out of their seat, jumped with the ship, but we saw screenshots of people just hovering in space.
Yeah, the Wile E. Coyote effect.
Oh man, that was so good.
My Magna pants have failed.
It was literally the ship left, and we watched like about 20 people just fall out the bottom of the fleet carrier, just fall down, and the fleet carrier went. And then, oh my gosh, it was so silly. Because obviously there were more people on the fleet carrier than there were seats available, and at some point, even those people who were trying to sit down in empty seats, the game would just make them stand back up again. It was so stupid.
So Burr's fleet carrier, more deadly to commanders than a Star Citizen elevator.
Nah. I wouldn't necessarily say that because Also, I hear you can always get into an elevator fine in Star Citizen if you just pay real money for the upgrade.
Oh.
But Zinger, do you want to get some aloe for that burn?
Oh, there's a mic on the floor. Someone seems to have dropped it.
Elevator airbags now available in Star Citizen. Yeah.
Only for the small price of $6.99.
There is being serious. There is some controversy about.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to.
They're selling essentially. Give us 20 quid roughly, and we'll make your ship go 20 meters a second faster.
Yeah.
It would be the equivalent of making the SEO a paid for in ARCs.
Yeah.
The infamy. It's
not quite that bad, but yeah, it's like it would only be it's. I do.
When I was looking for stuff for Community Corner this week, earlier today, I saw like so many more videos about Star Citizen than I did, and I searched specifically for Elite Dangerous as well. It was like YouTube was like trying to tell me something.
Yeah, people have not been very happy about that.
No, not a lot of happy people over there in the other place.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Well, they have backpedaled to say, you'll be able to get them in game soon, TM.
Yeah, I beliove you. Thousands wouldn't.
To be fair, they usually do get things out for in-game currency within about 3 months. So they are fairly good at that, but yeah.
Cool. What does Nicey have to say, Chris?
Well, back in this universe, Nicey says, since I came to Elite relatively recently, I wasn't around for many of the major events. But having said that, my favourite was probably the episode 500 of Lave. Quick, mobilise the Tower of Cobras and the Python Mark II.
Okay.
Quick follow-up question. Quick follow-up question about episode 500 of Lave. Hey, Chris, were you there for that or not?
I missed the 500th episode of Lave.
Damn it! I thought you were there for that!
I wasn't there for the Tower of Cobras or everything. I missed that one. It's one of the anniversary. It's one of the anniversary episodes I've missed. So yeah, gutted.
Bad times. It was good fun. I went. I had a meeting about a different project halfway through, and I flicked to the screen with the stream on, and then there was just like a
Oh, it appears that we have lost the the stream. We'll be right back in a second. Waiting for things to load. Waiting for things to load. Sitting in your chair, waiting for things to load. Waiting for the manifest to update. Playing old space games. Waiting for things to load. You just want to get out there and explore space. See the galaxy. Blaze your own trail. But you're in your chair, waiting for things to load. Wait no longer, Commander! Automated cargo drones will load cargo into your ship in no time. Automated cargo drones, available now in most starports.
So, well, it seems that Discord took a leaf out of the bird's carrier there, and we all got ejected.
We really did. That's wild.
Don't mention it, otherwise it'll do it again.
Oh, hopefully not.
I got Commander the Stig's cousin. Obligatory reference for the fuel rats, the hull seals, with the various missions and culture of the fuel rats was a big reason I started playing Elite. Yeah, I mean, you can't really talk about Elite, the multiplayer side of Elite, without mentioning both the fuel rats and the hull seals, because when you actually mention that these player groups exist to other MMO players, they're going, well, you have people that help you out for nothing? They don't want credits or any items on your... No, they help you, genuinely help you out for nothing. And they go, I don't understand. And we're quite blessed with people like that, which, yeah. So
it goes back to what we to take it back full circle. The Elite Dangerous community is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be some that there's always going to be one or two that are
less than awesome,
but they get recognized relatively quickly, I think, nowadays.
Yeah.
So yeah, or they get through a lot of things and then they say something that's silly and then it's very telling. But
not to name
hey,
names.
big full questions for you three. Have any of you ever used the fuel rats or the hull seals?
I have used the fuel rats once, I believe. I can't even remember what else. I was doing something and I was like, oh shit, I'm an idiot. Oh well, I'll use the fuel rats then.
There's definitely definitely a time I should have used the fuel rats, but I don't think I knew about them at the time. And then I explained to someone how I just self-destructed to get myself back, and they're like, "Oh, you should have called the fuel rats." And I was like, yeah, that would be a good idea.
Oh no,
that sounds like exactly the service I needed.
I'm completely the opposite. Even if I needed them, I would call them because it's my fault. I should have known better. It's. I mean, we've got the wonderful Commander Terakov there in the chat, and we know Flossie's a fuel rat as well. But as much as I do love the fuel rats, my pride as a commander.
I was going to say, is this your pride talking?
Fragile as it is.
I'm amazed after over 10 years doing this show, you have any pride left. Especially when we think about certain items like Dockers.
Yes. There's a community event I'd rather forget.
It's a community event we'd all rather forget.
Yeah, so
I love doing Doctor Who. It was wrong, but it was fun.
I'll let you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the fuel rats are there, but I'd be
I
just so
definitely
embarrassed
use
to
them.
call.
I've not used them before. But if I did fluff up, 100%, I would call the fuel rats because they want to help.
Oh,
It's
I
so
do
yeah, I mean, I can
remember.
imagine that they're sort of spending their time. They'd rather go and help somebody than basically sit around on IRC.
If I've done a dum dum and someone there is willing to help, I will quite happily let them do their thing. Let them tell me all about KGB foam and how I should set my map and all of that good stuff. And I will listen diligently and I will nod my head and I will say thank you, Mr. Fuel Rat. I'll try never to do it ever again, or Mrs. Fuel Rat, or non-binary fuel rat, thank you very much for your assistance, and I will bugger off and not plot to KGB foam and try and keep paying attention to my my fuel in the future. But it's like I can't see a situation where I definitely need to call their hull seals because I'm either alive or I've exploded in a wall. There's no happy medium for me.
I think the main reason for hull seals is if you're doing a long-range expedition.
Yeah. I must admit, there was one time I was actually tempted to call them. My Colin to Colonia commander had a bit of a tumble in her clipper, and she wasn't doing
Are you trying
very
to roll
well.
it down a hill?
I think eventually she did roll a clipper down a hill. So yeah, that was a good. I think I was flying back to the next. I think I had about 5,000 light years to go to the next way station, and I was on something like 10% hull, which it's a bit low with that far to go. But I decided to tough it out. I
think
gave
we
myself
have to
a
give
limit.
a shout out to Katiana here, who's saying it's their kink, and we don't kink shame.
Hey, no.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Shall I move on with the other Flash?
Go on,
Bring
then.
us home, Ben.
Okay, let's bring this, and it's a wall of text to bring us home as well. My word. Right, take a deep breath. Chiggy's rescue of Macedonia out near Beagle Point with his mining laser, way back before the days of FSD boosters and buff drives. Macedonia, I assume that's Macedonia.
Looks like it. Macedonica,
Yeah.
it looks like.
Macedonica, could be Macedonica, had injected his FSD to make a jump to a secluded system, only to find he'd used his last bait of germanium and couldn't jump back. He was stuck with access to just two systems that had no surface germanium. Chiggy realized there was an asteroid belt, so he jumped thousands of light years to help out a stranger by mining the ring. I suggested to Macedonica, well, let's go with that. He streamed it on Twitch, and a couple of hundred of us all watched with bated breath as Chiggy blasted rock after rock. I'll not spoil the ending, but it was drama of the highest order. There was a forum thread titled "The End of the Road." I wholeheartedly recommend reading it to experience the whole thing. I think we need to find that.
Yeah, I'll find that. I'll put a link. I'll do my very best to find it and put a link in the show notes so you can check that out at your leisure. That's what we have for the question of the week. If you want a question of the week, if you want to see where it goes and you're like, hey, why are you not reading out everything that we're putting in chat and stuff like that, we asked the question of the week. I asked the question of the week on a Sunday. It was a little bit late this week because I was doing my Lego Galaxy, but it's normally around 2 p.m. on a Sunday, which is just after Black Diamond FM. So if you do listen to Chris Mott 4 and Black Diamond FM from 12 till 2, go onto the internet, go onto our Discord, go onto our Blue Sky or Twitter, and the question of the week should be there.
So we've got this special question, have we?
Yeah, we do. Right. So we have a we've got a ship coming up. We've got a ship coming out to we've got a ship coming out at some point in the next few months, one might say. I don't know. There's a little bit of hype around it. It's called the Panther Clipper. But we thought it'd be kind of cool if we ran a little bit of a competition. So on Monday, have a look around 6 p.m. Not Monday, on Wednesday. So tomorrow, Wednesday, the 21st of May at 6 p.m. We will be posting links on, I'm going to say all of our social media. So I might need a pal to post other links in other places. But we will be posting links on all of our social media to a Google form for you to fill in. Now, I will explain the rules because we've got time. The two things, and also everyone in Lave is going to enter this as well, but we won't do it on stream. The two things that we want to know and we want to see what the answers to are: what is its max cargo capacity? And follow up to that, how much in credits do you think the base ship is going to be in game? Now, both of these are going to be Price is Right rules. So Price is Right rules. So you can be as close under, not a penny over, Price is Right rules, or not a cargo capacity over. So don't be have a good think about what you think it will be, and we will be posting and retweeting it everywhere. It will probably remain open until a week because we will probably have more information. We might have more information on the Panther Clipper the following Wednesday. So that's why we're running it for a week. So to clarify, the max cargo capacity is everything has a cargo rack in. So get rid of shields, all of that kind of thing. Kremen's just asked in chat, is it shields or no shields? Max cargo capacity doesn't mean, hey, chuck a 4A prismatic on it. It means go without shields, including go without a docking computer.
Yeah, ain't using that auto dock.
And using that auto dock or that super cruise assist, my love, it's all cargo. So bear that in mind when you're doing it. I will put that out tomorrow evening, and then if there are people who have guessed the same amount, we will pick the names out of a hat. We do have prizes from Frontier to give to the winners of each category. I don't know what they are yet, but we do have some. But yeah, that's what we're doing. There will not be a link to it in the show notes, but they will be all over our social media tomorrow if you're listening live, 21st, at about 6 o'clock. If you not listening live, go and check out our social media. Basically.
Excellent. Yes. So, yeah. Right, quickly any other business. Right, I'll just say, just to let you all know, I'll be bringing the Elite Dangerous game down to ECM in August. We've got new ships, new maneuvers for the existing ships, because I've been reworking the system, and a prize. I devised a point system, so the player with the highest number of points at the end of the day will receive a brand new Chieftain model, hopefully, complete with its ship cards, its maneuvers cards, tokens, and once the winner is established, I'll even create them a named dangerous ranked pilot card for them to use in any future games that we do. So pass that on. I'm also working on making some remote control pants, but less said about that, the better.
I was gonna say you're not giving the pants away as a prize, are you? I was like, why?
The pants
evil.
automatically put back into the raffle
Yeah, I
every
know.
year.
Is there some sort of ceremony where we can witness the pants going back into the raffle? Is there
returning
like
of
an
the
official?
pants.
Is there an official handover ceremony? Is it
We could do one. If you guys want to do an official handing over of the pants ceremony, then I think we can do that.
Listen. We've got a PA system at our disposal. It's all good. We'll sort that.
We do have that. Katie has also asked in chat if I'm taking Werewolf to ECM because she's asking for a friend, and that friend is Pete. Yes, I am, but also Commander Asylum has also bought and his own deck of werewolf cards. Our plan is to try and get 2 running at the same time with about 16 people in each one, and then if not, try and get a full 34 man werewolf. That'll be fucking insane, and I'll have to remember all of the different roles. But I am excited about playing werewolf again. Probably playing werewolf in July as well at the lovely meetup, which is like less than a month away. About a month away, something like that. I need to double check everything, but I'll talk about it probably next week on Lave anyway.
Yeah. So right. It's going to be quite a short show this time, but let's do our shout-outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, Place of the Pants. It broadcasts on a Thursday from 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, you can also check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. And we're giving shout outs to the other Elite Dangerous podcasts. That's the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. And of course, the wonderful Loose Screws with those wonderful accents. But on the subject of accents, if you speak French.
So, I've played a lot of Expedition 33, and I feel like I've got a basic grasp of merde, en garde, and bonjour, mon ami. But normally, I let the funky music do the talking.
There is the wonderful Elite Dangerous podcast, who also do the wonderful Elite Dangerous missions as well, which we thoroughly recommend. Following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. Hold tight, it's a long one. So we'd also like to thank all the people who have chipped in at the Twitch chat, and the in-game commanders this week are...
Our in-game commanders today have been Ulrich Octavius, Jeannie Van Ziel, Steak Typhoon, and Osbert.
Excellent. Thank you for keeping Chris company.
Keeping him happy.
All of the above. All of the above. It delights me when everyone comes into the bar. Otherwise, I get lonely and upset.
And you can't even have a drink.
Indeed. Though there are people in the corner here that have got glasses of wine. I don't know where they got them. I think they've brought in their own.
Seems sus to me.
Yeah.
It is. As long as you keep Chris happy.
Oh no! Well, I can't. Anything I wanted to say then, I literally censored myself at every moment. My brain went, no.
Nope, can't pull that one. No, right. Special thanks, of course, go to Commander Tokoso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have created music that we use on this show. But that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find the contact links at home/contact us menu on the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Claire.
Something about being under a table. I can't do it. I can't stop it.
Oh, You know you want to, but you just... She's holding on by her fingernails, ladies and gentlemen, let's be honest.
on the precipice.
Yes, Ben, thank you.
Yeah. Good night.
And special thanks, of course, goes to the Taste Tech specialist, the Chris Mark IV.
You're welcome.
He sounds very happy.
Delighted.
Was your mini as well? Yeah. Thank you, BTF. Was it BTBF? Oh my gosh.
Good mooning. Yes. So
Munch too.
So until next time, Commanders, fly safe. But if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life like this? Sounds like someone having an orange inserted. You need a safe word. Space can be lonely. I'm going to see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
This is Coordinator Hendricks at the Oracle Starport. We have been attacked by Stargoids.
Well, who am I kidding? This is not going to be a big budget movie, and it's not going to be about how humanity won the technological race to stay one step ahead of the Thargoids. We eventually beat them back, destroying the last Titan mothership as it loomed threateningly over Earth, 7 years, almost to the day, after the Oracle Starport was attacked. That's a story that needs to be told, but not yet. This is just a tiny fragment of that story. Humanity was outclassed and outgunned by the alien civilization we know as the Thargoids. But a year earlier, on October the 27th, 3302, we'd been thrown a lifeline when Commander X-Death stumbled across what appeared to be the ruins of an ancient city on an airless moon in the Sinuefi XR-H D11-102 system. Built by what we had to assume was a long-dead alien race, the ruins held the promise of technology far in advance of our own. Perhaps we could learn from this ancient civilization. Perhaps we could develop new weapons and insights into the behaviour of the Thargoids. That ancient race was the Guardians. I think most commanders associate that name with Ram-Tar, the engineer widely credited with piecing together our knowledge of Guardian civilization. But he wasn't the only scientist racing to discover everything about the Guardians. Why does no one remember Professor Melville and the Melville expedition of January 3303?
Guardian technology holds the key to defeating the Thargoids, but our progress in negating that technology and deciphering it is slow, way too slow. I'm not just going to sit here while that jumped-up mechanic Ram-Tar spoon-feeds us information.
That's what Professor Melville said. He wanted to know more about the Guardians, maybe even figure out where they came from. So off we went, with little to go on beyond the Professor's belief there were more ruins out there. He claims to have information that will help us find more sites, but he's keeping it close to his chest. Only he and the pilot know where we're going. It's like he's afraid someone will take credit for his discovery. We've been scanning lifeless planetoids for days, eyeballing the ground for locations. He keeps reciting the same little speech.
Xenoarchaeology has moved on. The days of exploring the outer reaches, only occasionally finding something of value, are behind us. I have found the key.
But I'm not an archaeologist. Professor Melville is just a means to an end. I signed up for the money.
This is very revealing. The data appears to explain why the Thargoids seeded a number several thousand years after they seeded planets in Guardian space with barnacles. The Thargoids returned. The Thargoids were determined to continue hostilities. These war machines became highly sophisticated in a relatively short amount of time, and the log also mentions that the development of the Guardians' war machines created a schism in their society, which eventually the Guardians' experiments bore fruit, resulting in the first fully sentient machines developed that connected the Guardians with both the constructs and the monolith network in a symbiotic circle. It is truly remarkable.
We received an update today. Apparently, Ram-Tar has found some new signs. Melville scoffed when he heard the news.
Scraps from an amateur. We'll find the real secrets, trust me.
Trust? That's an interesting thing. Why should we trust someone who doesn't trust us? Well, maybe he has reason not to. I took a look at his records while I was talking to the pilot. I don't like being kept in the dark. Melville thinks there could be hundreds of sites out there. His hypothesis is that the Guardians occupied an area of space similar in size to that currently inhabited by humans, but that for some reason they were forced to migrate. He believes he can find that region of space and the Guardians' point of origin. The Guardians could well have had a huge civilization with hundreds of sites, maybe thousands, in this part of space. The similarities across different sites are comparable to the way we reuse certain structures. After all, how many Coriolis stations are there in the galaxy?
This data describes the motives behind the Second Guardian Civil War. These engines of war took various forms, from autonomous drones to vast, lumbering dreadnoughts. As their situation worsened, they became increasingly obsessed with these practices. By this time, the constructs had complete control of the Guardians' munitions and automated war machines. Their attack, when it came, was swift and merciless. They were crude and unpredictable at first, sometimes resulting in the death of the wielder. Of course, I already knew they had developed extremely effective shields, capable of protecting entire cities and even withstanding orbital bombardment. But it is remarkable to consider that this technology was developed millions of years ago.
Melville thinks the Sinuefi XR-HD11-102 system represents some kind of endpoint or last colony. Beyond that, the sites appear in clusters, with the number of sites in each cluster getting increasingly larger. We discovered a cluster of sites only a few days ago before finding a location with an entirely unique layout. So far, we found 3 sites in each of the following systems: Sinuefi LY-I B42-2, Sinuefi NL-N C23-4, and Sinuefi TP-F B44-0. There are basically 3 different types of site, most of which have a different codex layout. Melville thinks that each type of site fulfilled a different function. He also thinks the Guardians were the dominant species in this region of space. But he's not content with this discovery. He wants to keep going. Are we ever going to turn back?
This data provides further insights into the Guardian's ship technology. Over time, the Guardian's starships became much more sophisticated. Defense systems found at Guardian sites. You may have already encountered them. Remarkable! This log actually contains the blueprints for the Guardian's data terminals. This explains the faint glow given off by many Guardian materials and structures. This is an extraordinary discovery. Guardian relics. These blue crystals are part power source, part computer, part key. These weapons were apparently powered by the crystals we have termed Guardian relics. Oh, it's extremely exciting.
This isn't a research vessel anymore. It's a prison. All means of communicating with the rest of the galaxy have been disabled. Melville's taken control of the ship. His obsession has duped us all. I'm transmitting these records in the hope that someone finds them and comes to our rescue. But chances of that are slim.
This log details the Guardian's faster-than-light technology. It seems their drives produced a far greater jump range than anything humanity has so far developed. This log indicates that the Guardian's written language often incorporated pairs of characters. The efficiency of this technology far exceeded anything the human race has yet developed. We already know that it was highly sophisticated. Encouragingly, this find is extremely important. The log suggests these undiscovered sites might contain blueprints not only for Guardian engines, but for Guardian starships. It makes my skin prickle just to think of it. And who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to find it.
We're getting out of here. The ship was designed to leave the lab ship to fly solo, carrying out experiments while the drive ship ferried supplies to and from occupied space. We're going to trap the professor in the lab ship, blow the umbilical, and return home in the drive ship. The crazy old fool will have enough supplies to last him years. It's more than he deserves, trying to trap us all out here.
This fascinating log relates to variations in the Guardian's gestural language. The Guardians use these implants to connect cerebrally with their AI creations. How extraordinary. This log suggests there are many more Guardian sites out there waiting to be uncovered. And I mean hundreds, perhaps even thousands.
There's no escape now. Somehow, he found out what we were planning. He welded the airlock to the drive ship shut. When we confronted him, he went crazy. He called us mutineers, cowards. He shot our junior research assistant Marcus. To make an example for the rest of us. The kid hadn't done anything wrong. He just wanted to get home. The only way off this ship is...
Professor Melvin and engineer Ram Tar then had very different ways of working. It was Melville's secrecy that sealed his fate, and the fate of his crew. Ram Tar shared everything he discovered about the Guardians in more than 100 logs. Almost everything we know about the Guardians comes from Ram Tar and the people who worked for him, searching for ruins, structures and beacons, and working out how to unlock the secrets of the Guardians' immense data stores. Without this information, we wouldn't have many of the key weapons we need to defeat the Thargoids, and we wouldn't have the frameshift drive booster. As for Melville, his ship, the CT, remains as an airless sarcophagus for the Professor and his crew. You can visit it in the Call 173 sector LJ-F C12-0 system, but hardly anyone goes there. His expedition is, at best, a footnote in history.